welcome to our talk show Rubaroo. I'm Neha Chauhan, and today I'm here with Dr. Sougand Akbarian, who is an author, assistant professor in English, TEDx speaker, publisher, and translator. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, ma'am. So my very first question to you that is, what inspired you to pursue English language teaching and literary studies across different culture?
Actually, when we talk about English language teaching, as I remember from my childhood, I used to learn new languages, and I came to know English is a language that is international and global language, so you can be in touch with different people around the world. So I started to study in that from my bachelor, master, and PhD as a translator in translation studies, and then ELT English language teaching,
Okay.
and from 2012 when my first India travel happened, then I came to know about good books in India
Okay.
that I decided to read them. Then from that, I came to know I can also translate them and go to literary studies as well. So that is why I decided to do my education as a translator and also as a teacher in teaching English, because this is something related to language and cultures as well.
Okay. So if we're moving on to my second question, so what inspired you? Like, how do you balance being an author, being a publisher, being the CEO of your company, and also being a translator and assistant professor? So how do you balance all that?
See, balancing in life within personal or professional life, that my
Right.
professional life, as you mentioned, as assistant professor, translator, and author of Indian literature, TEDx speaker, and CEO of my publication house, it's about having purpose. If you have purpose in your life, so definitely you can make balance between them.
Right.
The routine that you have, you should make it a creative routine, and also you should have discipline. If you have discipline, if you have routine but creative routine
Right.
and also discipline, you can balance them in a way that you want. And if you love your job, you will enjoy by doing that. For example, you will not check the time, okay, how many hours it is left, that I do that, that I do that. It is not like that. When you love your job, when you be in love with your profession, so definitely you will enjoy doing that, and definitely you have purpose and you have balance, will bring balance into your career and personal life. As a translator, I know when I open a book, first I will read it, then I will start to
Right.
translate it. So I will see I'm lost among words, and words have soul. So this is the way I am going as
Okay.
an author. Also, when I want to write Indo-Iranian stories, because I focus on Indo-Iranian stories mostly, so this is something you should have purpose. If you have purpose in your life, whether personal or professional life, definitely you can keep the balance between them.
Okay. So my next question to you is, can you share how your international teaching experience has shaped your perception on language and culture education?
By personal experience in teaching, I can say I have experience in Iran, my motherland, in India, and also in Uzbekistan.
Okay.
It is like that when you go to classroom, it is not just about teaching grammar, vocabulary. It is about teaching language. In a way, language is a key to open the door of literature
Right.
and culture. When you open that door, you will call literature. So you have the key as a language in your hand, open the door of literature, and you will see culture there. So when you go to your classes from different nationalities, international students are there. It is about respecting values of different cultures. So culturally responsive teaching and pedagogy is something you should focus on, that because each person has their own identity.
Right.
So you should respect the differences, celebrate the differences, not, for example, differentiate that. And also by that, you can come to know each person has their own cultural values. And this is the way you have international class with different cultures. It is not just you go there and teach. Sometimes I myself as an assistant professor, I will learn from my
Right.
students, because if you say no, I will always teach, I will always teach them
Be the
something,
leader and
it is not something like that. It is we are living 21st century, so it is something you are in action reaction both. So whatever you teach, you will learn something also from them, from their culture.
right.
And it is about respecting the culture, because we have students from different cultures, even within Iran, that I have experience from different part of Iran, different part of the culture. We have, just like India, north part, south part, east or west, then you imagine it will be global or international. So it is about respecting culture of different people, and you see each person has their own identity and cultural values. So that is why it is something I can say about my experience with international teaching.
Okay, so that's the mention that being learning from your students, and then that is actually very pretty good that to know that you learn from everyone because everyone has their own identity. Right,
Because the learning has no end.
right.
For example, you say, okay, I got PhD, now I'm a doctor. No, it is not finished. The world is running, everything new you will see every day by AI, by everything. So you should learn something. And they are a new generation, so
Mm.
they know something maybe better than you sometimes by the technology. We can say, I'm not that much old, but still young
Yeah,
generation is there. It is
changes
about,
are actually getting rapidly faster and is.
yes, and
Mm,
it is also about we should be humble in life,
right.
and learning has no end. So always we should learn something new. For example, my experience in Iran, then also in Uzbekistan, now in India. So it is about learning new things. When people ask me why, for example, you are here and there, it is about while you are teaching, you will learn something in your life, in your personal and also in your professional life. That is about it.
So how can you tell us about the challenges and opportunities being an Iranian author focusing on Indian literature? So what type of opportunities and challenges you have faced?
Actually, life is full of challenges, especially when you come to the
That
task
is
as
very
a
true.
translator, yes, and also opportunities. Challenges that you can face, it is about India, Indian and Iranian. The literature of both countries are rich with the civilization, and also the literature they have, it is very rich. So, and also culturally translation and cultural writing, it is very sensitive, because when you want to talk about culture, it is very sensitive.
Right. And
For
that
example,
too different culture.
exactly.
Right.
For example, in my first book, Sougand, Indo-Iranian Athuri Kahani, an incomplete Indo-Iranian story, the way I narrated a simple cup of chai, masala chai, and then going to mandir, going to masjid, going to gurudwara, this is very sensitive and cultural point. How these are the challenges, how you
Mm,
should put your words on paper and give them soul. This is the most important thing. You should do research, write as an author, and also as a translator you should know that culture. See, from last 12 years I come and go to India, so I can say now India is my second home. So it is like you should learn about the culture. Then you can overcome the challenges,
right.
and also the opportunities I can say we will get here. It is about learning new cultural points uh, by different cultures in different parts of India. So cultural differences that we will learn while translating is good, and that will help you to write a new story. Because if you see my books, it is in India, it will happen in India, but the person, it is from the eyes of Iranian girl.
Okay.
So you will see your culture within my eyes. It is something different. As I told you, sometimes my reader tell me, every day we will have one cup of chai, but the way you narrated that, it is totally different. We
Mm,
didn't say it, we say chai, you say masala chai. That is totally different. So
that is
how you will
amazing.
narrate that, this is something different.
Okay. So as a TEDx speaker and an advocate of literary exchange, so how do you believe literature can bridge culture breaks? I mean, the we have culture exchanges and all.
Uh, about being TEDx speaker, I always try to have new idea. For example, I always call myself translator is a traveler of countries and cultures.
Okay.
So I am, and the translator of Indian literature. So when we talk about literature, especially in my TEDx speeches, like translator is a traveler or fly with your pen, education is the passport to future, or recently I had my new fourth speech after United Arab Emirates, then it was in Mexico, then in Uzbekistan, and now it was in Varanasi, India. It was about the phoenix within. It is about how language, how culture, how literature will help you to be a better person. When we read books, you are not into, for example, English or literature. When you read a book, you will come to know about the literature. So that literature will help you to grow, because words have soul. So definitely you will come to know that, because whenever I go for my TEDx speeches, I try to give one idea to my readers, to my listeners, to my audience, that they pick with themselves up and leave their hall, that what I learned that day. So it is about study, read more, and learn new things, especially about literature.
Right.
It is not about only India or Iran literature, it is about the world literature. When we know about literature of different part of the world, we somehow live their life, and we will get new perspective, we will
Hmm.
get new point of view. For example, like in India, people will say namaste. In Iran, people do handshaking. In other parts of country, greetings in another way. So maybe we cannot travel, but we can travel by books. So that is why I try, as a TEDx speaker, I try to bring that within 18 minutes to talk about new idea, how the literature can change the world. And that is why I can say fly with your pen. The way you write, definitely you can fly with that.
But a beautiful thought you have shared with us. So moving on to the next question. So what are the core values or ideas what Sougand Akbarian publication promotes through its literary designs, or what we can say dialogues?
My publication house, which is in my name, Sougand Akbarian Publications in Iran, we focus on cultural books, spiritual books, and also academic books. And we don't see our audience as a customers. We see
Okay.
them as seekers. Some people who want to learn something new. Because we publish academic books, so also we have authors from India, Iran, Uzbekistan, and other parts of the world that we will publish book chapters. This is something about academic book in university and college level to make new knowledge in that field, which is my field, translation and teaching of English language. Also cultural books, which is about my novels. Maybe I write, you can call it love stories, but not, it is not just merely about love.
Hmm.
It is about love as a essence of life.
Okay.
Not, for
That's very
example,
beautiful.
yes, you fall in love, okay, one hug, one kiss. No, it is not like that. It is about the essence of life.
The soul connection.
Yes, when we call it, for example, Indo-Iranian Adhuri Kahani, why that love story? It is an incomplete story. It is about the cultural and international love story. That is why cultural values are there, and also spiritual books that I translate from Indian literature, like we have books from Gaur Gopalji that I translate them into Persian. These books are there. So this is something my publication house is the focus on the Indian literature in
Okay.
Persian Parsi language in my country, and also vice versa. In English, we are focus on cultural stories like love stories beyond the borders, like India and Iran, and also academic focus stories, books, which is for university level.
Okay.
That it is, I said, my people who come to my publication house, they are not customers, they are seekers. They look for knowledge in different aspects.
And you're providing that knowledge.
I do my best.
Okay. So how do you balance, like I will ask you about with that. So if we talk about how did you get so fond of Indian literature, the way that that love started for India? Like that is a very interesting question that I wanted to ask from the starting.
Actually, as I told you, 2013, it was my first travel in March with my mother.
Okay.
It was before Holi and before Nowruz, Irani New Year. Then I came to India by sudden. That time I was bachelor student
Okay.
in translation studies. And then I came to India with my mom, Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, the golden triangle of India we explored. And then I came to know about some authors in India and I got their books. And I took them to myself to Iran and read them how it is. Then I started to narrate their stories for my mom. That was a good book we bought in India. Then I thought, I studied translation studies. Why I don't share the content with others? That is why slowly I came to know about Indian literature. And I translated different books. For example, I translated from Ravinder Singh, from Chandrakant Sansaria, Domini Agarwal, Chandrakant Sansaria and Domini Agarwal. They are from Damik Publications, and
Hmm.
from here, thanks to them for publishing my books like Sogan Dilli and Loveless Love, and also by Gaur Gopalji. I translated their books, and then I thought, okay, so again, now you are translating. What about writing a new story?
Right.
Then I started to write my India travel story in 2013, and I narrated to my mom. But when my mom, I was reading that, my mom told me, okay, go to the end of the story. I said, Mom, please let me read the whole story. No, go at the end of that. I thought my mom is not interested in my story. And I said, Mom, why? She said, when she come to know about that book, now it is Sougand Delhi, she said you should publish it in India. It will be a
Oh.
successful book. So because of my mom and my dad and thanks to my family, then I came to know I should publish books. So it was based on my travelogue, Sougand Delhi, but I add some sense of love and Devraj character to that, because as you can see, we say Sougand Delhi and the D is capital because
Hmm.
I love Delhi so much. So again, Delhi, Devraj. This is D is just like a mystery. Why it is always D, that, Dil, Dunya, Divanagi. So that is why I wrote that book. So again, Delhi, Indo-Iranian Adhuri Kahani, an incomplete Indo-Iranian story. And then I started to write Loveless Love, when love is a reason to stay or to live forever.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking to write new books
Okay.
again because now I'm in India, so maybe new love stories. And from here, I really like to be thankful to my family, that to my mom especially and my dad always supporting me, and to my publication, Dominic Publications by Chandra Kanjay Sansariaji and Dominiji, they always support me for publishing my books. And to all my dear readers from India, Iran, and globally, that because of them, I get new ideas to write new stories. So this is my journey. One India travel made me, now people know Sougand as Sougand Delhi,
Right.
the author in India and also the translator of Indian literature in Iran.
Okay, at last, I mean, we have just an insightful conversation with you that we got to learn about literature, different culture, literature forms, and a lot of things. So, at last, any message you wanted to give to the viewers who wanted to pursue English literature language?
My message to dear readers and audience is that don't give up. Read, write. If you want to become a writer, if you want to become a translator or author, definitely you can be. The point is that you should never give up.
Right.
Maybe sometimes you feel down. We are not robots, we are human, so definitely we feel down, but never give up. Go for that, raise again as a phoenix. And if anything help from my side can be there, I'm always available on my social media platform, so they can come to me as well. And I wish them all the best, and thank you so much to you for having me.
Welcome, ma'am. It's our pleasure to have you in our talk show. I
Thank
mean,
you.
we have such an amazing conversation about a lot of things because personally, I also love English language. That's why it's amazing to talk to you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us on our talk show, Rubaroo.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, ma'am.